Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cone Racing League. Back again, as it always is, on the Monday night for Tier 4. Here we are in Russia on the Black Sea coast down in Sochi for round 14, the penultimate round of Season 5 for the Tier 4 Championship. What a championship it has been so far. And this is going to be proven to be the 14th and probably one of the most exhilarating races, but luckily I am not home here tonight alone to present this to you. I am, of course, your regular host, CRL Freefall, but tonight I am joined from our main man from the Mediterranean, the Maltese madman, that is REL Mark. Mark, how are you doing tonight, my friend? See what I mean? I told you he's a madman.
That was an intro and a half. I have to give it to you there. That was an intro and a half. Mate, I'm doing absolutely amazing. I can't wait. 2 rounds left. 2 rounds.
2 rounds to go.
I mean,
incredible. What a season it's been so far. I mean, these guys over the last 13 rounds. Of course, last round was round 13, of course. So, last time out in Bahrain. Wild Dog getting that 5-second penalty to removed by the stewards to take away main man Moody's first ever victory here in CRL. Heartbreak for the senior man of the league, but still a P2 for him. Tomo Tip Top getting his first podium of the season as well out in Bahrain last time. What a race that was, though. Me and my Steiny here, of course, last week. But Steiny's not here this week. We have you instead, Mark, and I can't wait, my friend.
We have the better com. I mean, come on, I am the best reserve com there is. There's no doubt about it.
I'll let the people at home decide that. Now, after that race last week, there was a tight battle for the championship going on. It continues here tonight. Hedgehog 11, 300 points after 13 rounds. Shortly behind AFL 1994 on 284. 16 points separating them here tonight. If we just quickly jump across to the point system here, you can see there's 41 total available for all our drivers here tonight. Another 41 in Brazil next week, so that 16 points is nothing at all. It is one bad race or one really good race from either of these drivers. Mean Man Moody, last week's P2, he's currently in P3. He has an outside chance. 56 points off the top, but there's still them 82 points to claim, as does Wild Dog K9. Well, unfortunately, no, he doesn't. I've just remembered. He's not here tonight, so that rules out his chances. Mark Wilson in P5, a solid debut season from him so far. Wouldn't you say so, Mark?
Oh, I would definitely say so. And I also do want to mention the sad death of Sir Frank Williams, which happened, I believe, yesterday or the day before. We did have a minute of silence in, but obviously throughout the intro we couldn't mention it. And the first car out was Wee Cammy exactly after that 1 minute of silence. He's the first one out. He's the one dedicating to Sir Frank Williams, as is his teammate. I can't wait to see what the Williams can do today. Maybe grab a nice podium and a nice tribute for Sir Frank.
It would be nice. Of course, you got a podium the last time out in your Williams, but you did get something mixed up there, Mark. You are the best quote-unquote reserve. We're not doing the minute sounding at the start of qualifying. We're giving these guys a full 18 minute to go out. We're instead doing a nice little minute of formation lap silence, remember? Come on, Mark.
Ah, yes.
See what I've got to deal with, folks. See what I've got to deal with. Anyway, jumping quickly back to, speaking of the Williams, of course, they are in P4 in the Constructors, still with a hot chance at this Constructors title. McLaren, Mercedes, AlphaTauri and Red Bull, the remainder of the top 5. Mercedes looking very strong though, 175 ahead. Of course though, there's well over 400-ish points, 300 to 400 points per round from all 4 tiers available. So this really, again, is nothing. It's about consistency of the drivers over the 8 tiers. I know who you want to win this, Mark, because you're part of one of these teams. And I know who I want to win, because I'm part of another one of them.
Yes, but unfortunately your team is not winning.
But we're still doing better than yours.
First person to cross the line is Wee Cammy in the Williams. He's going to set a 32.3 banker. That is the time everyone is set to be.
Now, I was speaking to Wee Cammy just shortly before this race started, and going by the practice he's been putting in, he could be a man to watch this evening. He's not had the most consistently so far this season, but when he's been on form, when he's on his day, he has been rocketing. Tomo Tip Top the next, a 32.9. 6 tenths off Wee Cammy already.
That is a solid banker from Wee Cammy. he came like you said, he came into this track. He felt confident. I saw his time trial time. It looked confident, so I definitely think you could see a nice performance here from Cammy.
Of course, we all know very well it's all one thing doing it in the safe zone of TT. It's another thing doing it on the real deal that is a Monday night or a Thursday night for some cases. I don't know how you managed the Thursday night there, Mark, but nevertheless. Aussie RL and Maverick crossing line to set their first times. Aussie back in again as our only reserve here tonight, taking the place of Hedgehog in that Ferrari. Who will be next? It looks like we have... it'll be Hedgehog.
I'm sorry, did you just say Hedgehog in the Ferrari?
No, he's taking the place of Wild Dog in the Ferrari.
Ah, I see you're making mistakes as well, calling me out. Nah.
Now, Mark, I know Malta is famous for its potatoes, but just clean your ear out and get the potatoes out of your lugs. That's an old Scottish saying there for you folks. Quick killer though, putting in a quick killing time. 1:32.0, 3 tenths clear of wee Cammy at the top. We're currently on board with his teammate, Reverend Melvin. He's had some pace at times this season. Was an early contender for the championship, but fell off towards the mid-pack. He'll be looking to maybe get a strong finish in to aid his teammates in that Constructors battle. As will BX37
right.
Pro and Mean Man Moody for the P3. But of course, MUFC Harvey, one to watch out for the Constructor leader. He has been a devil when it comes to these qualifying at the start of the season particularly, picking up 6 or 7 on the bounce for the first few rounds.
Sorry, and Hedgehog, as the line goes, P3 with a 32.5, a solid lap.
Reverend Melvin, a 32.5, also just slotting in P4. Now, the other Williams is not on a fast lap, it seems. Scott Gay in the Red Bull is, however, but he has got a Red Bull Ferrari right in front of him, and I think there might be a bit of impeding going on here, but they both seem to be on quick laps. Just shows the importance of setting yourself up well to start your lap. A 33.5, but having a fellow car in front of him for the majority of the third sector, it is very tricky to do through there. Of course, we are joined tonight by a Tier 1 driver in the form of Mark, so I'm hoping you're going to provide the technical analysis of the track here, show us what the drivers are doing right, what they maybe could do better.
Of course. Obviously, you have to relate to the pros, you know, when it comes to this type of information. And lucky you have a very big pro with you tonight, so...
I would just like to point out Relentless Vouter was unavailable.
Yes, so I was the next best choice. But anyway, back to qualifying. Who are we on board with at the moment?
We're on board with Mark Wilson in the second Williams. He's about to cross the penultimate corner. Coming up to the final, that nice right-hander, getting down the accelerator as quick as he can, cross the line for 1:32.9. Puts him provisional P7 at the moment. Let's have a little look at tyres. I haven't done that. Everybody on the soft so far. Nobody opting to go for the mediums as of yet. Although we could see them make an appearance, of course. Still a few cars in the pits.
And the usual strategy here is a soft medium, or people can go for a medium soft. Both tires should easily last as much as they need to. I'm not gonna say they can do to the end of the race, but they're both comfortably reliable enough to push on. So you could definitely see some great racing here.
Well, you say that, I've just had a little bit of info from the man in the Mercedes Riordan. Unless, of course, he is pulling my leg here, the little cheeky Irishman that he is. He's telling me it's going to be a full wet race.
Oh, okay.
So this explains maybe why everybody's on the softs. There's no need to go for the mediums. There's no strategic benefit to starting them, of course. So you might as well just go all out.
Oh, yeah, all out, no mediums. Push, push, push. You have 3 runs. Well, depending how many runs you do on one set, but you have 3 sets, how many runs you want on them. And I'm guessing since they're not going to be starting with them, they're going to push as much as they can.
Absolutely. Now they put in a couple extra loud. Do you go for the double out lap? We've seen it a few tracks this season. It is stronger, particularly in the upper tiers. I wonder if any of the guys are maybe employing that, just thinking it doesn't matter if I waste a little bit of rubber, I'm not going to have to extend them. Atomic going P3. What a bit of pace from that man. He is definitely showing the performance improvement he's had over the season, but he dumps down to P4 after week. No, it was Matt Rowney in the Aston Martin, I believe.
What a lap from Matt. 3 laps as well on those soft tires. He's not kidding around here.
just showing how close together this grid is. If you ignore Quick Killer, 4 cars separated by 800s. Less than 800s anyway. P2 of Matt Rowney to P5 of Piero. Hedgehog and Reverend Melvin, 2 Tims back from that, and then there's sort of, yeah, there is gaps, but there's always groups in the gaps. And of course, some people setting times earlier on the session. Track evolution is a big thing, especially around here at times. MEFC Harvey though, a man like we've said, a bit of a qualifying pro. George Russell, Mr. Saturday of this league, except he's already in that Mercedes. He is on a purple sector too. Can he convert that into a provisional pole position? We'll find out as he approaches the second to last corner. Rounding the first of the right-hander, straightening it up very nicely, getting the accelerator down into the second right-hander and putting the foot to the floor. Crosses for only P6, a 1:32.5, 5 Tims off the top. Looked a faster lap than that, I must admit.
Yeah, it did look faster, but he's only going to be P6. He has enough time to do another lap though, which is completely fine. And also going back onto what you said a few seconds ago, the track evolution here is absolutely insane. Track evolution is most best when it's fast corners, and Russia, as we all know, is full of the fast corners. So expect to see some faster times as we go throughout the last 7 minutes of the session.
Absolutely expect these times to just melt away as the drivers get more confident and the track starts to heat up. And Rubber and Riordan, the teammate of MEFC Harvey, he's on a flyer. AFL was on a flyer but invalidated just shortly before. He's one to watch out. And Riordan having a nightmare invalidating the final corner. Would have been 32.4, put in provisional P6. So, bit of commentator's curse there maybe, Mark. Have we creeped in already with that?
That's already happening. Only 2 minutes in. What I'm not liking right now is the 2 Alpha Tauris in P17-18. What are they doing?
Well, Mean Man Moody,
they need to step up.
Mean Man Moody is on a lap at the moment. He's currently coming through Sector 2. We're going to ride on board, or not quite on board, but going to follow him around the track here as he comes to the second technically DRS. So, and I like to call it the first because who starts the lap with a DRS? Everybody, of course. I'm just talking nonsense. Getting that wing wide open, that Honda on full display at the rear. Sticking it nice and to the left, swinging back across to the right. And then back across to the left again, braking just before the 100-metre mark. It seems that might be a load of nonsense, but I'll just roll with it. Going through the technical, tough final sector. A lot of twisty, sharp corners here, Mark. Very easy to lose it there at that corner he's going round, actually. We've seen that quite a few times in previous seasons. Nobody doing it so far tonight. That is the commentator's curse laid out.
Yeah, Moody's lap looks pretty good at the moment. He is going to cross the line. He's going to set a 32.8. Look, once again, it did look faster than it actually was, but it's still P9, which is good. He has enough time to go in the pits. He has enough time to change his set, and he has enough time to set a faster lap, which I'm sure he will.
Absolutely. I wonder if it is maybe that final sector, just the twisty technical corners that's catching us out, thinking that people are on for a fast lap, and then they're...
Ooh, and there's a fast lap.
It is a fast
Quicker
lap.
there goes even quicker with a 31.8 provisional pole with 5 minutes remaining. Let's see who can beat him and how many can beat him.
Just a quick note, Hedgehog improving his lap time by 1,000. Go on, the lad.
Oh, what a lap.
His main rival here tonight, of course. These are two that we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout the whole of the evening. AFL and Hedgehog, the two main contenders for this title. Mean Man Buddy still technically in the mathematical running here, but he's going to need a bit of a poor result from both of them, both of these guys, and probably a win, let's be honest. AFL is jumping into the pits, however. Gonna get a fresh
Question is, can Hedgehog become champion tonight?
Mathematically, yes.
Can.
He can. He needs to score 26 points more than AFL. So, well, we've got a few cars in the pits. Let's we'll jump back to the point screen, Mark, and have a little bit of a mathematical think down here.
I was never good at math, so you have the wrong person to discuss this with, but we'll try it anyway.
So, if Hedgehog finishes P3 and AFL finishes 14th or below and does not get, well, if he finishes 14th, he won't get the point for the fastest lap, Hedgehog will be champion. If Hedgehog finishes P2, then AFL needs to finish 10th or above. And if Hedgehog finishes P1, then AFL needs to finish 7th and above. That's essentially it. 14th, 10th, and 7th for free second one. That was a really weird way of saying it, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, and I mean those times. Sorry, not those times. Those pushes don't sound too off. Yeah, I high hopes for Hedge or high hopes for AFL that he can keep this. I personally, I want to see this go to the last race. So I want
Absolutely.
AFL to have a nice performance and hopefully keep it in and make it extra exciting.
I would love for, taking all personal opinions of drivers away, from a pure sporting context, I would love for AFL to score a couple more points than Hedge tonight. Just to tighten that gap ever
100%.
so slightly and make the final race ever so. Ideally, get them level on points going into the final race. That would be tense for next week.
Or even better, if an Hedge DNF and Mean Man Moody wins, that makes it even more interesting.
Well, a Hedge in AFL DNF and a Mean Man Moody win would be very interesting, because that would leave Hedgehog 16 points ahead of not just the AFL, but also, 16 points
Mean
ahead
Man
of Mean
Moody.
Man Moody, actually, if my math is right off the top of my head there.
It is correct, yes, unless he gets fastest lap.
Like, it could be 15. That would be an outcome for the books. That could. If that happens now, Mark, there's going to be
Matt
claims of
Rowney's
match
on a good
fixing.
lap, and I just saw that at the end. What a lap from Matt Rowney. So close to provisional pole, and he has enough time to set another lap.
Has went provisional P2 at 1:38.49. 32 thousandths, that's the correct way to say it, off the top time. Tomo Tip Top's on a slow lap. He's going to be going again. Who will be next? Is it Scott Gay? No, it will be Piero. No, it's not. I can't
no.
make the colours out.
Tomo is starting his lap. Scott is next to cross the line. Let's see what he does.
Yes,
And he looks on a decent lap. Oh, but he's in the last corner. The small spin still gets it up to P8 though, and has enough time to set another lap.
A little bit of a mistake there, maybe cost him a little bit of time, but does manage to get a 4/10 improvement. Still solid enough, puts him up to provisional P8. And of course,
And
if
both
wet weather is coming,
Hasses, yeah, both Hasses, I want to say, are both in the pit, so they will not be setting any faster times. A bit of worry here from AFL, who is currently P20, has not set a lap. He has just started one. Oh, and he's invalidated it. Sir, AFL will be starting from the back of the grid.
50 seconds
This
here,
is
there's
interesting.
no way of him getting round in time. That will be a
He's not
P20
gonna
start.
get around in time. The guy who's challenging the person who's currently P5 in this qualifying is gonna start from the back of the grid. This is gonna be very interesting what he's gonna do from the back.
Absolutely, just to jump in, Kami is about to finish his lap. Can he go provisional P1? A 31.910. So close. Less than a tenth off the top there. Can't quite make it. Quick Killer is at the start of the sector, so he won't be coming around anytime soon. I'm trying to figure out here. This is why I hate commentating short quality. I must admit, it is very tricky to figure out who is where and what is going on and which laps
Well,
matter.
I think we have Matt Rowney now crossing the line or starting a lap. No, but he's done. So we have a few people behind each other. Oh, we have Drone goes a bit faster. Goes P13. We have an Alpha Tauri crossing the line now.
That will be Mean Man.
Oh.
No, that will be Ben doing his outlap. He of course has a qualifying ban tonight.
I see. Or it was actually no, it was Mean Man Moody, and he crossed the line already. He just improved, and we didn't see it. McLaren next of Reverend Melvin, usually up there, and he is up on his time.
Actually.
Oh no.
You get your cars mixed up here, Mark. It is Quick Killer 1.
Yeah,
Reverend Melvin won't be improving because he had a spin in Sector 2. That is your turn of commentator's cross tonight, my friend. Does cross the line, but does not improve.
And Wickham isn't validated his second run, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, unless Riordan can, well, first we have Harvey's gonna cross the line. He's gonna set a pole! He's put it on pole! What a lap from Harvey! 2/10, almost 2/10, faster than the pole of Quick Killer.
That
Some
just
few
shows
more people to cross the line, like Riordan,
the
who we know is
power.
fast.
The
He
power
goes
of Track
P4.
Evolution. Riordan his teammate P4, and that will be qualifying. MUFC Harvey in the Mercedes, taking it at the last minute on those 3-lap old softs, just showing how important getting that final lap times in with the Track Evolution. Quick Killer and Matt Rowney, the top 3. But look at that top 5. Barely anything separating them. Mark Wilson, Hedgehog, not far behind. Either as Atomic or even Piero, really. And that's another little group there we've got. Almost from Mark Wilson down to Reverend Melvin, quite close together. And then the rest of the cars a little bit back, but still quite grouped up together. So when you put this into a wet race,
Scott,
of course, we don't know who's
I'm
running a
sorry
wet setup.
I don't want to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but your screen is still on the points.
Oh no!
Oh, now we've missed one position. Scott.
Oh no! Well, there you go, folks. You missed. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, Nathan.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you did miss it, it's still on the points, by the way. You have MUFC Harvey on pole position, Circular P2, Matt Rowney P3, Riordan P4, Wikami P5, Mark Wilson, Solid P6, Hedgehog P7, and then P8, Aero P9, and Scott to round out the top 10. Thank you, Scott.
I'm gonna apologise for that. I pressed the wrong button. Well, yeah, you should at least all know that is your next homework. For next week, we're going to have a little quiz going over the point system, and everybody should know. But thank you for going through the qualifying there, Mark, where I sorted out the stream. Quickly, though, before the formation lap starts, we are going to have a little bit of silence here during the formation lap in honour of Sir Frank Williams, the late and great Sir Frank Williams that was, of course, the team founder and team principal for Williams F1 team from 1977 all the way up to 2020, sadly dying over the weekend at the age of 79. A great, big, huge loss to the F1 paddock, and will be sorely missed amongst all of us that I love the sport. What a great inspiration. But we will be going silent and rejoining you as the first cars start their lineup on the grid. thank you everyone for joining us in that minute silence in respect of Sir Frank Williams. And apologies for the point screen. But we are here on the grid, almost ready for round 14 of CRL Season 5. The last car just piling in, having a little bit of spin in the rain. I believe my co-commentator is somewhere here.
Yes,
with me.
I am here, and the lights are going out. It's going to be 5 lights. I'll give it to you, Scott. Oh!
Lights out, away we go, and 2
start.
jump starts already! 3 jump starts already!
3 jump starts, and 2 of them are from the top 2. That's so crucial.
What is going on? There's cars going everywhere further down the field. Lots and lots of changes. I think this could be a bit of a mental race here, Mark. We've got her in for this evening. Atomic down 4 already. Drone up 4. We've seen him had great starts in the past, and he's coming back onto them. Of course, every car on those wet tyres, as we have expected. But everybody, apart from a little bit of wheel spin and a little bit of change position, and of course, free pens, drive-throughs, everybody getting away nice and clean, and no issues at all, really. Brilliant to see. Drone going off the inside. Scott Gay making a little bit of contact.
It's not just what the top 2 wanted. They're in such a good position on this track because of the slipstream. I feel like the best place to start is P3 if you get a good slipstream. I don't know about the wet. On the dries is usually what happens, and but as you can see on the wets, the front order stayed quite to the same where it started. There's a lot of action going in the back, and there still is action going in the back as Maverick gets past Tomo Tip Top, and they're still gonna go side by side here.
Spider Rob getting past BX37 Pro slightly further back. We do have yellow flags somewhere on the track. I'm not quite sure what that's for. Seems all the cars are still facing the right direction. Saying that, MEFC Harvey is dropping right down the grid, and it seems he has had a little bit of contact somewhere. He's down to P10/11 at the moment. Mean Man Moody. And Piero, I think, has had a spin.
And a bad start just got worse for him, unfortunately, and that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt his result right there. As Quickler now takes the lead, and Matt Rowney goes to serve his sorry, I can't speak. His pit lane penalty. I can't.
And it just goes bad to worse for BX57 Pro, getting that drive-through penalty on lap 1 and then picking up a 3-second time penalty while trying to serve it. Not the start to a race you wouldn't want to have.
Not at all. And as we did miss the predicted strategy, it's a no stop. Drivers are gonna go, some of them, I'm sure they will, are gonna go to the end without stopping, which you're allowed to do on the intermediate or wet compound tires. They can go on a pit stop.
We've got a spin in Scott Gay. That is at turn 5. Coming off, getting too much of the car, but just swinging across to the right, spinning up under acceleration. The car is still going, however, but not the start he would have wanted. That'll be an early pit stop for him on the no-stop strategy. Not ideal. Sorry, Mark, back to you.
Not ideal. No problem. I was just saying that since it is a no-stop, spins are crucial. And there's another spin, and who was that? That was the Maverick. It was still in the wall. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. AFL up 7 positions in 2 laps. And there's another flag. I think that's just him spinning again. Maverick. It's fine. And then I'm thinking the conditions are absolutely wretched. I can see thunder on my screen. I'm sure it's not any much better for the people driving. FL P13, as I was saying, and his championship contender P4, which is not what he wants.
Absolutely not a good day in the office if you're AFL so far, but it's a long way to go. 27 laps here around the Sochi Autodrome International. I don't even think we looked at the beautiful graphic that Jacob made up for that, but it is 27 laps around here for round 14. Interesting though, Mark. I don't think it's going to go dry. What's the chances that it goes to enters?
It always depends to the rain. As spectators, we actually have a good POV because you know the switchover when it goes from inters to wets or from wets to inters is when the puddles on the floor they stop showing. So as you can see, there's a bunch of puddles on the floor indicating that it is full wet tires.
Sorry
When
to
the
interrupt.
puddles
Mean
leave,
Man Moody there and Reverend Melvin coming together around the sweeping left-hand for turn 3. Drone doing very well to dodge, and that is not going well for the AlphaTauri so far tonight.
not at all, and he does have wing damage, which is has put the AlphaTauri to the bottom, unfortunately, as there's been once again in the pits, and Miran Moody will be going to change his wing. But no, as I was saying before, just when you don't see puddles on the floor anymore, that is when it indicates you're going to enter weather, which is hopefully what drivers want to get away from this absolutely wretched weather.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, the pace at the moment from the top 5 is absolutely insane. Already picking up, or sorry, from the top 4, picking up 7 seconds from Hedgehog to Weekami, and additional to that, 3.3 seconds from Miradan to Quickler. Quickler is absolutely flying in front, putting his name to use there.
I think you're being a little bit too kind to Hedgehog there, because he's the one that's 8.9 seconds back on the top 3. 9 seconds back now, but right, there looked to be a little bit of connections issue there on Hedgehog's end. He was lagging about a little bit, and Weekami having to sort of brake to avoid almost the ghost of where he might be, but he isn't, and that's cost him 2 positions to Reverend Melvin. Well, 1.5 positions, because it's let Drone have a really good attack, and it's actually going to let Piero have a good attack here, using that bit of slipstream down towards the official turn 2, but we like to refer to it as turn 1. But here comes Aussie RL up the inside of both of them. A little bit of elbows out racing there, but all cars getting away without damage. And look at this, 5 cars battling for position, and who knows which
Aussie
one
and
of them.
Tomo are gonna go side by side to turn 3 here. Oh, and Aussie's gonna stay ahead to see what Oz almost gonna fall in their position. But here comes Tomo once again down the inside, gets through with much better traction.
See further.
Oh, and there's contact!
Weekami having
There's contact between Dro and Melvin.
Hopefully not damage. We are, of course, on the reduced damage settings here tonight for Tier 4, just to be a little bit more forgiving, and I can't help but think the drivers will be very thankful for that, as there is a 5-car shunt head to nose there. Oh god, 5 cars lining up
getting
perfectly.
any good traction, and they're 3 wide. Oh, and the AFL might get caught up here, and he does a little bit, drops to 1 position. Aussie. Oh, but he gets back past, as Aussie's not finding any traction in these 4 west, but they're gonna go side by side here into the final sector, and Aussie once again gets ahead of AFL.
Yeah,
Aussie. Big battle.
Aussie seemed to understeer a little bit there into Tomo, and that just sort of caused that little bit of coming together with the cars. Just again, that concertina effect. All these cars so close together in such tricky conditions. It's bad enough as Atomic goes for a spin almost, but keeps it out.
Oh, and Piero's out. That might cause, and it will cause a safety car. Our driver's gonna pit here. AFL's gonna up to the pits for some new full wets. Is that the right decision? We'll see, because the strategy is a no stop or a 1 stop. He's gonna go for the 1 stop.
Now, well, that maybe is a bit of a brave call. I wonder if he's got wing damage. We're going to just check on board with him here as he comes through the pit lane. See if there is a front wing change for the Alfa Romeo of AFL. And there is in fact this. So that is...
There is.
That safety car probably saving his race. Maybe getting a bit of caught up in the carnage there on that. Not the carnage, the elbows out battling, shall we say. But this is big plays for likes of Scott Gay, Mean Man Moody and BX37 Brew. Had to make them early stops and fell a little bit behind the pack. They'll be able to reform up the grid, and of course we will have a safety car restart, but this time, Mark, something new for these drivers. I don't think so far this season they've had to do a safety car restart in full wets quite like this.
Not at all. The conditions are absolutely nowhere. And I'm sure Hedgehog, though, is going to be happy. He's going to close that 13-second gap in 5 laps. I don't know. Oh, no! And that is not what the championship contender wanted. He's got a drive-through penalty, which you cannot serve under safety car. So he's going to have to wait for the safety car to finish, then serve his drive-through penalty. Absolutely not what he wanted here on the strategy that is here for tonight.
Definitely not. Just a quick little bit. We've got Spider Up, unfortunately disconnecting at the start of the race. He is back in the lobby, but hasn't been able to pick his car, and I think he's having a little issues with that. Just if you're listening, Spider Rob, if you press square and scroll through the drivers until you find yourself, you'll be able to select that and click take control, and that'll get you back in this race with enough time to score points, because of course there is a rule that if you don't complete, I believe it's 75% of the race as your own car, then you are ineligible for points. So hopefully we'll see that ghost car turn solid again and get you back in here. But yeah, AFL getting that drive through. Like you say, he can't serve it under the safety car. I believe he can serve it the lap the safety car, or the first full lap after the safety car comes in. He can't follow the safety car into the pits and serve it, I don't believe. I believe he has got to do one
I
full
don't
lap.
think so.
But that's going to be huge.
Oh no, you
course,
can.
either way, it's going to cost him effectively a full drive through, equivalent of about 20 seconds roughly, give or take, which is going to be huge. And at that point, he's going to be not 20 seconds off first, he's going to be 20 seconds off P18, and then have to catch up and make his way through the field.
Not at all what he wanted. Not at all. Hedgehog is, I don't know if they've just got the safety car, but yeah, he's just catching up to the people ahead. We have another person left, Piero. Let me see if I can get an invite for him.
There is no need, he is the DNFer. He was the man that cost the safety car.
I see. I see.
You see.
I see.
Mark.
I see. I see now. I see with my eyes.
I know, we all remember back to season 4 Monza, we all know that you're not the best when it comes to safety cars. You do have your history of not quite understanding what's going on with them, so I'll leave it be. That's a little.
You do have your histories. You do have your histories of not finishing a lot of races, bottling podiums, bottling wins. You're pretty bad.
We do love it here at CRL. We do love a bit of banter, don't we? But speaking of podiums, speaking for wins, the top 3 looking very strong, especially Quick Killer having good pace in the wets here. Hedgehog struggling a little bit, but doing well to keep the cars behind him. So maybe he's just. Do you think the championship contender here? He's thinking, I'm in P4. My rival's starting near the back. Take this a little bit easier. Don't spin up the tyres too much, and there's no need to go full guns a-blazing. He doesn't need to win. He just needs solid points for a few rounds. Or
right.
Do we think he's just struggling for pace? These are the questions, folks. Who has the answers? Only one man has the answers, and his name is Hedgehog11. And sadly, he is not talking to us at the moment anyway. I'm sure we'll get afterwards, but it is interesting to see, because if the likes of Reverend Melvin Wekami can clear him early, you've got to say we could have a 5-way, maybe even a 6-way if Drone can get involved. He's had some good pace off the start. Matt Rowney, we know he's got pace about him. Could have a good little battle here for podiums and the win.
That's right, and as I'm sure you would like a 6-way, but back to the race. Back to the race.
You know, folks, it's a real, there's the real yin and yang of the commentary team here. You've got me, the ever present constant, the stalwart of that, and then you've got the very serious, very professional, analytical Steiny, and then you've got Mark when it comes to co-commentators. But everybody brings their own profit. Everybody likes what they like, and yeah.
Who doesn't like a Mark as a commentating? You gotta have a little bit of banter with the commentating. That's right, Steiny, you suck.
Just a little question in the chat. Matt asking how many points for 4th place. Jacob saying that the graphic was up for long enough. It would be 23 points for P4.
I'm sure it was up for long enough.
And interestingly enough, Jacob, the stats man in the chat, as always, one of the head admins, of course, we love you, Mr. AJ Wuhan. If it was to remain as it is at the moment, Hedgehog would take a 39-point lead into the final race, with only 41 points available.
And the safety cars in this lap. Unfortunately, the Alpha Tower of Ben is going to kind of catch up to the pack. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Back to business. Quickler in the lead, Riordan behind him, Mark Wilson behind him. See how this is going to pan out here into turn 1. Quickler needs to get a good exit here. It is a long straight down to turn 1.
Definitely is. Oh, Maverick Spider-Rob picking up 5-second penalty. Well, just Maverick, not Spider-Rob for collision. Quick killer, letting that safety car go in, taking a nice and slow restart here.
He has gone here, and I think he has got a better. Ooh, when Riordan's flew past Mark Wilson not getting the best of starts, but he has Hedgehog. But Riordan here, he's catching to Quickler, and I think he is gonna go for a move. Quickler is gonna defend the inside, no, he switches to the outside and too far away to make a move from Riordan.
Of course, under that safety car, all drivers having a nice and good chance to recharge that battery, and it looks as if there's been...
Spinner from Reverend Melvin, not what he wanted there in I believe it was P5 before the spin. Not what he wanted at all. And Hedgehog's falling back.
P4 and P5, Hedgehog and Reverend Melvin there. I think they had a little bit of coming together. Hedgehog maybe losing it on the curbs, I'm not quite too sure. Just from what I picked up there, he was a bit squirmy on the left side curbs on the exit of turn, well, officially turn 2, we call it turn 1. And now he's in a battle here with Aussie and MUFC Harvey for P8. So all them calcs that Jacob just spent 2 seconds doing, all out the window. We do have another yellow flag. And that is BX for 7 again. Ben
not the race, and his win is completely gone. Not the race he wanted here for the Alpha Tauri team. And look at that!
Outside, what a move, son!
What a move! And look at that! I was about to say the top 3 already getting a 2.1 second gap. And more yellow flags there as that's the Haas of the Maverick who's taking a bit of a spin. As you were saying.
Yeah, just saying what a move by MUFC Harvey. He's got some real pace. He lost 9/10 to Hedgehog in making that move, and he's right on the rear end of him now, almost pushing him around the corner, saying, "Come on, son, I've got a race to win here." But Hedgehog suffering a little bit from connection-wise, it seems. Bit unfortunate tonight for him, but hopefully not too much of an issue for the drivers around the bottom. I expect to see a move.
Oh, and the spin! That was who was that? That was Tomo Tiptop. Or was it Tomo Tiptop? Yes, it was.
Tomo Tiptop,
and it straight into the wall on the final turn.
It looked as if there was a bit of end plate sitting there on the start-finish straight, so he'll be suffering some reduced downforce here, I would imagine. And in these conditions, that is the last thing that you want. Doesn't look too bad, however, through the first turn, but definitely looking at a pace disadvantage compared to the 2 in front of him, getting a slightly weaker exit. Maybe not, however.
Yep, and as you can see, the conditions are not getting any better. Absolutely. Yeah, they're just tragic conditions. And here we go. Side by side go Harvey and... Oh, and Harvey spun!
Hardly spin.
Oh no, making contact with Hedgehog. And that's also Tomo Tiptop who spun both of them down at turn 5. Unfortunate for them.
Very unfortunate. I don't think there was much malice in that. It was just they were wheel to wheel through the corner, through about 2 corners, and a little bit of the slightest little bit of contact, stuff that you can normally get away with in the dries, is so easy to unsettle the car here in these conditions.
That's Harvey again, who's gone for another spin, unfortunately. And AFL, he has served his drive through, and speaking of him, he has got a 3-second penalty. This is absolutely just not going his way, is it?
Absolutely not. Not the night he would have wanted. Sorry to jump back to the chat and have a little bit of a giggle at your spin smart, but Jacob making the comment saying you're slowly learning how the interval works. This is what CRL is all about. That is even the most inexperienced, even a man that doesn't know how numbers work, is able to race at the top tier of CRL and bring on, and we will teach you. If that isn't an advert for this league, I don't know what is.
I don't know what is, indeed.
Oh, but the drivers now, they're starting to settle into a rhythm a wee bit. We've got some gaps developing, of course, a few cars, 5, 6, 7 times back. The problem is, normally you'd think, right, they're getting into attacking moves. They don't have DRS. They don't have really much of strategic with the ERS because you don't use it as much here. You recover it so much quicker. So it's not like we'd normally see some of these guys bleeding this ERS dry after 4 or 5 laps, and the ones that can hold onto it having a huge advantage later on. It's more all about just who has the more precise and smoother driving almost now tonight. And
indeed, it's
around the track like Russia. I was just going to say, around the track like Russia, how, like, just look at Spider up there, how easy it is to run a little wide or take too much of a corner on entry. The smoothness of the driving and getting those turning in points and getting those braking points spot on not only make you quick around the corner, they also make you avoid, like we've seen AFL get, those dreaded 3-second penalties.
Exactly, 100%. Russia is all about precision. It's fast corners, it's tight corners. If you take a bit of too much curb, you mess up the corner. You take a bit too much curb, you can either spin out. And in the rain, you're going slower to the corner, but it's only better because the track is slidey. This is an absolutely huge challenge for the drivers.
Yeah, even in the way, it's not one of those tracks you can just sort of creep round. You've still got the semi-send it for some of these quick corners, or else you're just going to be completely off the pace. Look at that rain there with that on board with Matt Rowney. It is going sideways almost by the looks of it. As a Scotsman, that even makes me feel sick.
And as a Malteser, we don't see rain, so this is something new for me.
Malteser. My favourite chocolate. Love to hear it, Mark.
My favourite chocolate snack.
Oh dear, we do have fun here. What a team! What a team!
No, it's fine. It's a perfect way to describe you. Small, round.
Small, round, and full of chocolate.
full of deliciousness. Full of surprises.
A big shout out in the chat to Steiny, my usual co-commentator. He is currently saying if this wasn't a reason, if he wasn't in CRL already, this would be his prime reason to join. And anybody out there that is watching that has never tried something like this, that has maybe never done a bit of league racing, get in touch with one of our admins in the chat here. They'll be able to get you in the right way to getting in the league, getting some trials done. And like we say, we have tier 4. This is our bottom tier, our slowest drivers, our most inexperienced drivers. And in the firsties we have 3, 2, 1. No matter what your pace is, we have got a division ready for you to do some nice, clean, close racing. So feel free to fire a message to one of our admins in the chat and they will get you sorted. And who knows, maybe for next season, season 6, of course, we've only got this and another race of season 5 left. You could be on the grid. That's how Mark got here. We just sort of found him lying in the street corner. Said, do you fancy racing? Here's a controller, and he turned out not too bad.
Yep, not too bad indeed. Alright, who are we on board with here?
Currently, I'm on board with Scott Gay in the Red Bull. He's in a little bit of a train here behind Hedgehog. Hedgehog really struggling with these conditions. 11.5 seconds back on his teammate Matt Rowney. And there's only about 2 seconds separating him and 3 cars behind him in total. Reverend Melvin of the McLaren, Atomic 76 of the Haas, and I, Scott Gay, in the Red Bull. I expect to see some moves here soon, but the 3 of these guys are going to have to battle not just with each other, but also battle with...
Here's the first move. Scott Gay going for an easy pass on Adam, or is it going to be easy? Adam's going to try and stick around the outside. Easy though, he goes off track, and Scott gets the move done. That's the first move from him. He is pushing like hell to get past this small train that the slow Hedgehog is currently created.
Of course, Scott Gay on 3 lap newer wets. The wets and the intermediates don't tend to deteriorate too much with tyre wear as much as the softs, mediums or hards. There's not a huge difference in between them from lap to lap, but it will be a little bit of an advantage. We'll give just a slight little bit of grip increase, and you know, over a lap, over 5 laps, over 10 laps, 15 laps, it all adds up. You know, we all say about, oh, you're only a 10th quicker than me in qualifying, but a 10th quicker over 27 laps is 2.7 seconds, and that's enough to win a race.
That's right, anything is enough to win a race, even 1,000, but we know that already, as we've had it in this league before. We've had some nice close finishes, and that is why you should watch, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, tune in every week, Mondays 8 PM for Tier 4, and then not Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. for Tier 2 and Tier 3, and then Tier 1 at 8:30 p.m. This is all GMT times, of course, and if you tune into some of them races on 8:30 at a Thursday, you may even see our very own REL Mark in action. We've got a yellow flag further up the field. That looks to be...
It looks like the Alpha Tauri. No, I think it's the Alpha Tauri of Ben, who's currently getting lapped from Drone, Matt, and a few other drivers. Not his race it is today, huh? Not his race indeed.
You can't win them all, and today has definitely not been one of his. But he is still in this race. He does still have a chance, of course. If you go home and retire, you get nothing. We, of course, as you all know, points for 15. You should all know this by now. Points down to P15. You've been shown it enough tonight. So all it takes is a few more cars to make some mistakes, and you can easily jump from that 19 to that 15 and still bring home 1 point, which could be crucial for your constructor.
Indeed, and Scott Nuzzle, of course, battling for the top 3 in his constructors.
Absolutely. Top 3 and top 5 in the drivers. You don't want to get...
Flags, and that's the person who was leading the race. He spun. That is not what he's won. They've been leading 13 out of 13 laps, and he's gonna box. I think he has wing damage. Oh, not at all what Quickler wanted. Riordan takes the lead of the race, with Mark Wilson a second behind him.
Quick Killer, he was showing great blistering pace. Of course, the pit stop, it will drop him down. Probably in behind this pack, maybe with the likes of Chimp and AFL. So not over. He is going for intermediates though. That could be a huge call from the man in the McLaren.
I have to say, I still do see puddles on the track, and the rain's not coming down as hard actually, but there still are puddles on track. Could this be? I will watch his sector time since you are the person on stream, and I will update you on his pace. Let's see how he does.
Now, like I say, the rain is, it is getting better. The puddles are getting a bit less plentiful, but nonetheless, they are still there. So depending on how quick this water clears, Quick Killer could, by almost making that mistake, look like a tactical genius. Meanwhile, Moody has followed suit. He is into the pits on intermediates. So 2 drivers going for it. I wonder if some of the Jeffs are getting some bright ideas here and telling the drivers, you know what, go for it. We think it's dry enough. But
I honestly do. I think it's at the changeover point. The rain is getting lighter, and I am seeing less puddles. I think it is on intermediate weather.
Well, look at that delta between Quick Killer and Spider Rob in P11. He is cutting that down by about 5 tenths. It's 8. Nearly a second already through about the first sector.
That's absolutely insane. It could just be Quick Killer's raw, faster pace, but I don't think it is. He is absolutely he brakes later. Look at that, controlling the car easily as Spider Rob goes deep, and he's going to get a move here in the 3rd sector, which we don't see too often. They are small corners. Are they going to go side by side here to turn something? Spider Rob goes deep, and Quickler is going to hit it around the outside. What a move.
That was a turn 15, Mark. Just for future reference. Reverend Melvin.
I was going to take a guess.
Reverend Melvin into the pit, getting a 5-second pen. As is Spider Rob. They're both going for the inters. Interesting enough, none of the rest deciding for it. Let's just look at this gap. Quick Killer to Atomic. Atomic, we've seen in qualifying, he had pretty good pace around the circuit. So over the course of this lap, it's starting out about 2.1. What is the difference? It's already down. So it's already down more than a second through turn 1. The intermediates are definitely the quicker tyre now.
Definitely faster. Quicker is just gonna make his way back up to the top. We are only just a little bit over halfway to this race, so there is still plenty of time here for some moves. And as Scott goes a bit wide, and Quicker is now behind 2 people who's willing to overtake, but just doesn't have the space to do so. Yellow flags in sector 1. That's from Quickler's teammate Reverend Melvin. And he's not doing any better on those intermediate tires or on the soft. Quickler, however, is flying on them, getting past Scott, getting past at him. Next is Hedgehog.
Those intermediates just
Interesting.
making an absolute meal out of these weights, cutting through them like they're not even there. Just shows the
That's
pace
right.
difference.
And Quick Killer killing Hedgehog on the straight, breaks later, goes to the corner better and gets the move done. Quick Killer is absolutely flying. He does have, however, a huge gap now to catch up to the top 5, which is 16 seconds. But as I say 16 seconds, it's already down to 15.7. So he's gonna catch them quick.
None of the top 5 though choosing to pit. Mark Wilson, just as we jumped him, picking up a 3-second time penalty. Interesting that none of them choosing to pit as of yet. Of course, the longer they go, the better their inters will be at the end of the race. But they're losing so much in the quote-unquote undercut. Hedgehog, Scott Gate and AFL are all
How
into the
about
pit
that?
river.
Quick Killer, who was not only battling on that lap, but he was the person who had the previous fastest lap, and he just went 1.8 seconds faster while battling other drivers. The intermediates are absolutely flying. The top 5 needs to get in now.
Absolutely. I wonder if that'll be an indication for them. Seeing Quick Killer going the fastest lap on the intermediates. If you're out on track, and their mean man Moody going even faster on the intermediates. Everybody apart from the top 5 and Atomic and Funny Oz Chimp in 7th and 8th onto the intermediates now. We did say this at the start, could this happen? This is what we're thinking. It might not be a strategy about tyre wear like we usually see. It's all about a strategy of the changeover point. And Quick Killer, feel about if he didn't have that spin, he would have an easy lead at the moment. MUFC Harvey though has retired on track.
That's the pits. Or is it on the track?
I think it is on track. No, it might be in the pits. It may actually be in the pits.
We can see now as we go to turn 1 with Maverick, and it was in the pits, I think. So
pits. It must
there we go, and there we go. Cammy in, reared everyone top 5 in the pits. They pulled the trigger. Was it the right call? I think it was. But that means... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Matt Rowney's not in.
Matt Rowney's staying out on the
opted
wets.
to stay out. Ooh, was that the right call from Matt? I don't think it was. Quick Killer. Doesn't matter, he spun. He did it at the right time, it seems. The spun did not affect him. Comes out in P2.
Yeah, even with that spin, he's came out in P2 with a 5-second gap. He spun, pitted, put on the inters, and made up more than a gap he had before he even spun. Just shows how quick they are. But Cammy, an interesting call from him, going for a fresh set of wets. I can't help but feel that is some sort of misclip.
It had to be a misclick. Oh no, Cammy, just not what the Williams wanted, was it? Oh, he's defending from Drone, who has contact, and Drone spins. Oh, did Cammy close the gap there? Did he close the door on Drone? We don't know. That might be going to the stewards, but Drone is definitely not happy on the compound he is right now. He is on the wrong compound for this weather, because there are no puddles whatsoever, and the rain is just really light. It is absolutely prime intermediates at the moment.
Absolutely. Just a quick bit of housekeeping. Mark, could you send Spider-Rob another quick invite? He has sadly had to disconnect again for some reason. I believe he's having a little bit of internet. His cribbles himself. Hedgehog making through his Ghost's car as is Scott Gay. But Scott Gay and Hedgehog having a little battle here. But just look at the time that Hedgehog, by pitting a lap earlier, he was 16 seconds down in Drone. Of course, Drone had that spin. He's now only 7 or 8. Now, whether that spin it definitely had something to do with it, but he definitely made up a good bit of time on the group in front of him by pitting that lap earlier. And Matt Rowney feel as if he may have threw away a potential podium here just by going that lap longer. He seems to be... Is he going again? He is. He's not
going to box.
He's went again for an 18th lap. But I'm just looking at the radar, and he's already at turn 4.
Yeah, he is, and I'm sorry, I was expecting Cammy there, who is not gonna box again, which I think is just not the... He has a 12-second... Oh no, sorry. He has a 6-second gap from him to Drone. But I think it's honestly the right time to box, because unless he thinks there's going to be more rain coming later on.
That may be the key. Maybe we're only 3 or 4 laps away from an absolute downpour here. If that's the case, then Matt Rowney and Wee Cammy are tactical geniuses and have played this perfectly. Because, of course, yes, they have lost time, but they won't have lost enough to justify a pit stop. If not, however, this is going to cost them big, big time.
Dude, quickly already getting that gap from 13 seconds to 6 seconds. He's just on pressure he's on pressure and faster tires and absolutely blitzing the times at the moment. Only with a fastest lap of 1:46.3, and he's gonna go even faster this lap.
Just while we're having a little update, things have a little update on the penalties at the moment. Matt Rowney, Mark Wilson, Drone, AFL, Mean Man Moody, Aussie RL, Tomo Tip Top, and the Maverick all with 3 second time penalties. Spider Rob with 8 seconds and Reverend Melvin with 11. But as that was going on, Matt Rowney has came into the pits as a plethora of fastest laps come in. Matt Rowney going 2 to 3 laps longer than everybody else has decided no, the time is now for intermediates. Wee Cammy is also coming into the pits for his second stop. If he hadn't have done that, he was in a prime position for a top 4, and that's going to lose him out to the likes of Hedgehog, to the likes of Scott Gay, probably even to the likes of Atomic. In fact, it will be the likes of Atomic.
The person whose times I've been watching absolutely blitzing on these intermediate tires is Mark Wilson. He's closing the gap to Riordan. He's set the fastest time by 0.3 of a second. And I think they are both catching quick clears. There's yellow flags in Sector 1. And who's that?
That's Spider Rob retiring in the pits. He's had a little bit of connection issues, sadly having to withdraw from the race tonight. Not what we like to see, but he had a good effort and was running very well there for a good point of the race. Up there in around the P6s, P7s, so disappointing night for him.
Indeed, not the race he wanted.
Got a little bit of comment again in the chat. McConey asking, is the rain getting heavier again?
No, it is not. I don't think it is. I'm sure Matt Rowney would have boxed or wouldn't have boxed if it was getting heavier, but no, rain seems to be staying light at the moment. I have to say, Mark Wilson and Riordan slowly, or at the same pace, catching Quick Killer. This is Quick Killer's race to lose at the moment.
So we do have a spin as well. Oh no, it wasn't a spin, sorry. My bad, that was just Spider Rob's AI coming out of the pits. So that game likes to do. Reverend Melvin now finds himself on the rear end of Hedgehog 11's Aston Martin. He'll be looking to get moved on. Hedgehog really struggling with these conditions here today, but not struggling quite as much as his title rival did in qualifying. However, AFL has made up these positions in the race so far. He's currently back up to P11, and in all honesty, he's not too far off the Hedgehog.
He's not at all. He is blitzing on those tires. He's setting the same times he has before, or going even faster. And they are catching. Funny Old Chimp is catching at him at the moment. Oh, and the move on Reverend Melvin from Hedgehog, or defending from Melvin. Oh no, he was defending from Melvin, my mistake. As Hedgehog is just, he's struggling on those, on this rain in general. The rain, I think, is getting even lighter at the moment. I can see a few clouds opening up in some areas. Could it be getting drier in the last 8 laps?
Could we see maybe a sort of replay of the Russian Grand Prix from this year we've seen, where the rain just eased away for 3 or 4 laps and we get a soft tyre shootout at the end?
It would be the Uno reverse of the real Russian Grand Prix. Let's see what happens here.
Could be anything. Of course, we don't know what kind of setup some of these drivers are going for. Maybe some of these drivers that are struggling out here are doing a bit quicker. Had a bit more of a wetter, more higher downforce, more stable setup, and some of them running a bit more towards a dry setup, and that could be the disparities between why some of them are struggling a lot more compared to others. So maybe Of course, it is only approximate weather forecast these guys get. They don't know exactly what the weather's going to do, and it can all change every second. So maybe the initial report was for full wets. Some of them gambling on the full wet and some of them gambling on it drying up. We'll wait and see if that pulls off. Reverend Melvin, though, going for a move around the outside of Hedgehog on the penultimate corner. He's going to stick around the outside for the final corner. Hedgehog sticking the inside, but here comes Atomic, trying to make a little capitalistic move up the inside. Can't quite get it done and falls away. Just getting.
And Hedgehog's in a bad place at the moment. Melvin's getting a good toe, pulls out, have a go, and he's gonna get past Hedgehog. Unless Hedgehog is gonna stick one around the outside of turn 1, but he's not. He's gonna give up, and here comes Atomic now. He's gonna try one maybe on Hedgehog. No, he doesn't, because Hedgehog gets good traction out of turn 1, and he's not gonna go one. He's not gonna go for one on Reverend Melvin though, because the traction is just not there.
Not quite getting the pull away. He is a little bit loosey-goosey, as a certain Danny Rick would say, on the exit of turn 4 there from the rear end of that Aston Martin. Almost losing it. Just interesting. Up the front with Quick Killer, stretching that gap out slightly again, up to 6.5 seconds. Mark Wilson will keep him within that 1 second of Riordan, but of course has got the 3-second time penalties to worry about. Rat Rowney, P4, 13.5 seconds. He's got a lot to make up, and there has been, I believe, a spin on the start-finish line. That is the Maverick. Not the place you want to spin right after the pit entry. Seems to have kept his wing mostly intact.
The person with the oldest intermediate tires is going even faster, ladies and gentlemen. He's going even faster. He is definitely happy and confident in these conditions. This is how you should be. You should have to be confident here in Russia, and not only in Russia but in the rain. So it's all about confidence right now for these drivers.
Absolutely. No, being confident in your turning and in your braking, and most importantly, being confident in your throttle to get the most out of these tyres in these conditions. And that is certainly what he is. Be another man that's looking very confident in his driving at the moment. AFL, he's still hunting down a funny Oz Chimp, but not too far behind. Chimp, though, getting a good exit out of the final corner there and gaining a few tenths down the run towards turn 1. AFL, though, will get the stop, but he's going to have to defend.
He is, pulls out a bit late there, but he doesn't go for Mumi Mahmoudi. And Ozchimp, and this whole train is about to get even bigger, because Ozchimp is absolutely flying to catch Atomic, and he is catching Atomic. No, as I'm saying this, Mahmoudi and AFL are going to go side by side. Mahmoudi is going to get past AFL, but AFL gets better traction. They're going to go side by side into turn 4, but Mahmoudi, crucially, is ahead of AFL, making his comeback into the race.
Moody having those early troubles getting past AFL, like say, for P11 into turn 5. Yellow flags further back. That is Aussie RL having a spin on the exit of turn 5 by the looks of things. Mark Wilson, though, further up the field, is catching Riordan. The gap down to just under half a second. Can he get a good exit out of the final turn here? Get that toe down to turn 1. Use that ERS and maybe strike a move for P2. Of course, he has got the not just clear Riordan. He's got to get past him and pull out a 3-second gap. Not, however, going to be in target distance for a move down into turn 1, and we'll have to settle back in behind to look for another opportunity later on. Atomic, though, who is looking for an opportunity here potentially, quarter a second off the back of Hedgehog, almost pushing him round the corner there at 14 and 15.
Indeed, and I have to say, going with Mark Wilson and Riordan is just so much. It seems he has so much better ERS management, as Mark Wilson is struggling to manage his ERS even in the rain, when the rain can absolutely generate so much more ERS when you're braking, because you're braking so much more often.
So you're braking so much earlier, so much harder just to get the car slowed down. So ERS not normally an issue. Funny Ozchimp there looked to have a little bounce with the wall. Not quite sure if that was maybe just a bit of desync there, but Atomic getting a bad exit of turn 1, and Chimp.
Moody and Chimp are gonna have a little touch, and at least this is a 5-car battle at the moment, all within 1 second of each other.
Hedgehog, Atomic, Funny Ozchimp, Mean Man, Moody, AFL, make it 6 cars because he becomes wee Cammy. Moody and Chimp going side by side.
Moody gets a
what a catch by Moody, though. Now he's back battling with AFL for P11. AFL getting forced to go a little wide there, just not the room to go, but getting past Mean Man Moody. But Moody now battling for his life with Cammy. That one little bit of turn just cost him so much. And Chimp bouncing off the wall again there. I'm not sure if that's just on my screen, if it's not a desync issue or something, but it just goes to show, look at these battling. They've lost a 2-second gap to Atomic. But this could get interesting.
Look at this.
Here.
They're gonna go almost 3 wide, and me, man, is gonna flick over the double overtake as he has to cut the corner almost to make the move. Oh, and he's gonna go all sorts of spins. He has to catch the car corner after corner. Oh, and he's going for another double move. Me, man, Moody just wants to get past. That shot, he's not doing well on the throttle. Has to catch the car every corner, but look at the traction he got out of that corner. This is absolutely insane balance. They're gonna go 3 wide almost into the final quarter. 2 and 2.
4 wide almost. Wee Cammy getting a little bit of contact. And here comes Tomo Tip Top for a bit of the action now as well.
Indeed.
Oh, Tomo Tip Top, Wee Cammy coming together.
Down on, that's Tomo's wing gone. I think Wee Cammy might have got a bit of damage there as well. Not what Wee Cammy wanted. And yes, Tomo does have wing damage. And he's gonna have to box.
Mean Man Moody going for a bit of a slalom. They are almost losing it into the wall on the left hand side, doing very well to catch that car again. But Wee Cammy and Tomo Tip Top, very lucky for both of these cars to still have all 4 wheels attached. I'm not quite sure how they managed that, but very fortunate indeed. I think there must have been a little bit of contact between Chimp and Mean Man Moody, because AFL has just gapped them a hell of a lot. And Wee Cammy going for another
spinner
spin.
from Wee Cammy. Unfortunate there, and AFL.
Moody sending up the inside of Funny O's. Chimp into turn 6, I believe that is, getting a nice clean move done. Very, very nice indeed.
Yep, that is right. And Wee Cammy, he's gonna go side by side. Tomo's wing damage is gonna be an easy pass, and he says, "There you go. That's for giving me wing damage. I'm gonna get right past you once again." I'm sure that collision will be going to the stewards.
Be surprised if we don't see it. Atomic is back and caught up after losing a little bit of time, having to battle the cars behind. He's managed to gap them with their scrapping, and now he's back up to the rear of Hedgehog. He's been looking to get a move done for a while now. Could this be his chance? Only 3 laps to go, including this one now. Getting to the final edge of the Grand Prix. Not looking like we're going to see some dries anytime soon, but nonetheless, still an interesting race here, because the conditions could change for the worse. We know how quick the tyres and the rain forecast could change in this game. For all we know, there could be a sudden downpour here, and things could get really, really spicy.
Indeed, as you said, only 3 laps remaining. The gaps here, Atomic has a penalty. Hedgehog, crucially, even though the gap in front of him is 6.5 seconds, I don't know what the penalty is, but he will be, at the moment, he is gonna gap Reverend Melvin, which is a place he wants, because his championship rival is only a few behind.
He is going to get Reverend Melvin. Reverend Melvin sitting with 11 seconds of penalties at the moment, so that will see him drop down below Hedgehog. The rest of the positions not going to change up too much, apart from maybe Mean Man Moody. He's sitting with 9 seconds of penalties. And as we say about penalties, the Maverick currently down in P16, still running in this race. So 38 seconds off the nearest car, but of course, if one of these cars has a spin, has a bit of an incident, he can certainly land a point again tonight for the top 15 finish. But Reverend Melvin and Mean Man Moody, the two that are looking to lose out big with the penalties at the moment when they cross the line. Looking at the position change from the start, then AFL jumping up 10 from his start and drawing up 8 to P5. Some good performances here from some of the drivers. The big losers, Wee Cammy down 7, having to pit twice and then getting that little bit of wing damage and collision with Tomo Tip Top.
That's right, and we are about to start. Or no, they are halfway through this sector. It's quicker. Is halfway, to the lap. He's soon gonna start the final lap here. As Scott, I can hear, goes for a little drink. Just erase the throat. Could you be any louder?
My apologies. I just had to take a little sip of water there, just to freshen up the throat before the big shouts at the end.
Dare you drink? How dare you do something important?
I'm telling you, the drivers here tonight will be sick of seeing the sight of water after this race. I'm a little bit more welcoming to it, but I know these guys will be praying for it to be dry next week in Brazil. Another track that we know can be a little bit prone to a downpour. We do have yellow flags.
That's Ozzy who's he spun turn 1. Or the final turn, sorry, just before the lap starts. Not what he wanted down in P15. Still gonna get a point though, which is something I like about CRL. Top 15 points, as it should be. You know, give the bottom 10 a little bit of a chance to fight for those final points.
Absolutely. You've still, no matter, even if you're one of the bottom end drivers.
Here we go. Sorry to, oh no! Oh no! Not what AFL wanted on the penultimate lap. He's gonna get passed here by Mahmoudi though has 9 seconds of pen, so but now he's got Cammy behind him. Cammy's on fresh tires, I think. Oh, and Aussie's crashed. It's too late for a safety car though, so that would just be handled by the stewards.
Looks to just been on his own on the exit of turn 5. Maybe just losing it on the acceleration there, I think. But that's great news if you're on the Haas or Maverick. All he has to do is make round past that car on track, and he will be inheriting that points paying position. Because of course, no matter, even if he does crash out now, as long as he makes it past that, the rule for 90% race completion gets you your points. But there is yellow flags up ahead again. Not quite sure what that was for. I think it was just the Maverick going slow, letting some lapped cars through. But Mark, Quick Killer is about to round the second to last corner here. He has had a dominant race. I think I've got to give him my driver of the day just for the strategy calling it right. He does going to cross the final corner, and he will win the Russian Grand Prix in style.
In style. In style indeed. And here comes Jordan now to get a very nice P2. And Mark Wilson puts it on the podium.
Absolutely, Sir. Indeed, Sir Frank Williams. I think it's the name you were looking for there, Mark, unless your mic just cut out. Matt Rowney, P4.
My mic cut out.
Matt Rowney in P4 for the Aston Martin. Drone YT, he's had a very solid race. A very couple. Oh, but he does pick up a 3-second penalty in the final corner. I should stop speaking once he's finished. Once he's finished. Drone crossing line for P5 is going to drop to P6 with Scott.
3 1000s. 9 drawn the top 5.
Hedgehog is going to cross the line and jump up to P7. Some valuable points for him, of course, at the moment. How many points indeed? That is the little pop quiz everybody should be able to tell you. For P7, it is, of course, 14 points. AFL in P11, he will only pick up 6, meaning the gap extends to 24 points in the final race.
24 points. That is Hedgehog. I'm sure Hedgehog honestly just wants to finish ahead of AFL today. And we go to round 15, the final round. Or is it 15? Yes, it is 15.
Yes, it is 15.
Round 15, the final round, Brazil. What a race we had today. The Tier 4 drivers absolutely smashed it. AFL driver today, I would agree. He's got a solid performance after starting from the back of the grid. Quicker also, a good candidate as absolutely smashing the race, leading almost every lap.
Absolutely, Quick Killer, my driver of the day by far. Solid performance all throughout the race. Solid strategy going in those inters. A little bit early, we thought he might have been making a mistake, but proving us wrong. Absolutely. And commanding in this drive. Getting the W here in Russia. Of course, our podium sitters. We are going to try and get them in for a quick little chat, hopefully. And, of course, that will be Quick Killer Reorder and Mark Wilson. But that is our final finishing order, of course. Quick Killer Reorder and Mark Wilson. Matt Rowney in the Aston Martin P4 with Scott Gay, Drone YT, Hedgehog 11, Reverend Melvin, Atomic, and Wee Cammy, your top 10. EFL P11 with Mean Man Moody, Funny Oschimp, Toma Tip Top, and the Maverick, the last of your finishers. Aussie RL, Spider Rob 95, MUFC Harvey, BX37 Pro, and Piero in 1987 are your non-finishers here tonight at the Russian Grand Prix. What a race, Mark. Wet stinters.
A race indeed, a long race, I have to say.
Long race.
A long race, but it doesn't matter. Also, fastest lap, the extra point for the man who got 40 points gets 41 points, as he does take the fastest lap also.
And speaking of that, he is here indeed. Quick Killer, how are you doing this evening? Brilliant race from you tonight, getting the win and the fastest lap. You must be pleased with that.
Actually, like, shivering. The moment I spun, I was like, oh my god, race is out of my hand. But then I knew the tires were, it was time to change inters, and then, yeah, it actually helped me a lot. Let's go. First win of the CRL thing. Let's go. Anyways, hear me over.
Yes, we've got you. We can hear you loud and clear. It was a very solid drive. We did question at the start. You did go for the inters a little bit early compared to everybody else, but you proved us wrong very, very quickly, putting in some solid lap times and cutting through the gaps, even after having a little spin round turn 15. Brilliant drive from you tonight, mate.
I'll tell you. After lap 9, I was checking every time, like, weather information, and then once it said like inters and wets have the same pace, I was like, let's give it a shot. And then I spun and like, let's see, I can do. I drained all my battery till I get that P2.
Brilliant. We did wonder if you're making the pit just for wing damage, maybe from that spin, but
Nah.
It just
I didn't have one.
It just shows you the little bit of experience we do know. You're a bit more experienced than some of these drivers in the grid. That just shows you the difference it makes, knowing when to go into the inters, and you timed it to absolute perfection, my friend, tonight. You are my driver of the day, and I believe Mark followed suit with that as well.
Indeed, after the spin, you still absolutely pulled it back, and it gapped the P2 almost. I think the gap was like about 8 seconds. Absolutely smashed it. Well done, and congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
Now moving on to Mr. P2, the Irishman himself that gave me the weather forecast. It is, of course, Riordan. How are you doing tonight, my friend? Solid performance again, back on the podium. Must be pleased.
Yeah. It's quite funny being in party with Mark Wilson, because he just kept on moaning that he's behind me the whole time. That's just the best part of the night, to be honest. P2 wasn't even something I was expecting. So
it was a bit of a bonus stuff, fun night annoying Mark. I had a similar night myself, to be honest. A fun night and Moyne and Mark.
His missus came in halfway through and told me to get out of the way.
That's the thing we love about CRL here. It's, of course, a brilliant little community. Second podium, I do believe. Second or third, I think you maybe had one reinstated, or was it one taken away?
Yeah, I think it's your second, yeah.
Second, very, very strong performance since coming into the league in the Mercedes. Big points in the constructors as well. From all three teams, actually, McLaren, Mercedes and Williams. Be happy with that. Brazil next week. Can we see you again?
Oh yeah, I'll be here, but don't expect that, Naomi.
So you will be on the grid, maybe just not quite on the podium. I like that confidence.
That's it.
Mark, have you got anything to say?
Cheers, lads.
No, I'm absolutely horrible at interviews, but no, well done to Riordan for the P2. Solid race made. I edge of my seat there with the battle of you and Mark, but you turned out to be just a little bit faster, and also had the clean air, so picked up that P2. Well done on the P2.
Cheers, pal.
And last but not least, Mr. P3. He made that position his own at the start of the season, getting 4 or 5 of them on the bounce at the start. And he's back here again tonight. Mark Wilson in the Williams on the night for a tribute to Sir Frank Williams. Pretty good result, you must say.
What a great result. Apart from being stuck behind Riordan the whole entire race.
Not the prettiest sight to see there in the rear wing of that Mercedes.
The whole race.
7 laps.
The whole race, and he knows it as well.
we were watching on board. It was saying you're a second behind. You'd get down to about 5 or 4 tenths, and then it would jump suddenly back up to a second again. So I take it
Yeah, the
was a
rocket
sort of...
ship down the straight. I don't know what setup he put on, but he's done something with the straight because I'd get him in the final sector, and then the long straight. I mean, he'd pull a second on me, or just on the straight.
Well, obviously having the lower downforce setup there, making it come into play. But no, it's still a solid result, P3. A very, shall we say, turmoil race. Some drivers getting drive-throughs, a bit of collisions. I'll ask from you. I suppose you went a little bit longer, of course. What was your decision making with going from the wets to the inters?
I think because we had such a gap up front. From Hedgehog, I think it was at first before the safety car. I was always gonna just wait it out until the last second until we had to come in. And as soon as I saw Ryalden go in, I thought I might as well follow him because I followed him the whole race. So yeah, I thought I'd follow him some more.
Fair enough, can't go wrong at that. But no, thank you all three for joining us for a quick little chat. Nice and brief tonight. Lovely to have. I suppose it's all left from us is Mark. Thank you very much for joining me in the comms booth tonight once again this season.
Anytime, mate.
Lovely to have you. You're hyper energetic nonsense, shall we say?
Yeah, we'll call it nonsense.
No, but thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you. I believe Steiny is hoping to make the return for the finale next week, but I'm sure we'll see you maybe commentating in Div 3, 2 or 1 next season, because of course the pace you're at, you're on course to be racing in the new Div 5 on your own next season. Joking, of course, I'm sure we'll see Mark back in the commentaries booth next season for Season 5. But that's all for tonight, folks, from me. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday evening for the Russian Grand Prix Round 14. Hedgehog coming out on top in the championship battle once again, taking that lead into Brazil as things stand. Of course, Stuart and may have a decision on that at the moment, but make sure you join us back for what is sure to be an exciting finale back at the Interlagos circuit in Sao Pablo, Brazil. I have been CRL Freefall, joined by the lovely Relentless Mark. We will see you back here next Monday night at the same time, same place, 8 PM GMT. But make sure to tune in Thursday night at 7:30 PM and then 8:30 PM for tiers 3, 2, and then the big boys of 1 to race around the beautiful circuit here in Sochi.